Welcome to SCN Corporate Connect. I'm Greg Greenberg, and I'm joined today by Lawrence Ford. He is the founder of Conscious Capital Wealth Management. Welcome, Lawrence.
Thank you.
So how is Conscious Capital Wealth Management different from the other brokers and asset managers out there?
So that's actually the easiest question I can be asked, because we are truly a zebra in a herd of horses. We are changing the game of how not only you interface with your customers, but also driving the end results as far as investments and how that changes. So we like to say that we are changing and really driving the entire revolution of an industry that, not so humbly, I say, is really in need of a lot of repair.
Can you explain specifically how you're approaching ESG, environmental, sustainable governance investing, because that really has risen in popularity over the last 5 years, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the old days, and in today's world, that's like 5 years ago, when you thought about putting money into something that was good, you kind of you'd wake up in the morning, you'd feel good about it, but it would be like kind of putting money in a collection plate. You were kind of taking a hit in the chin for your investment returns. And that's the typical SRI, socially responsible investing stuff. But we are on an absolute game-changing momentum right now, because what's happening is, because of the plethora of data that's available today, as well as the new ways to look at some of the data that was traditionally overlooked by traditional analysts. For instance, qualitative data like how people love their companies. Things that were typically looked as really fluffy and overlooked by traditional analysts. When we take a look at those metrics and include those in traditional stock analysis, we're finding a lot of the performance over the past years is outperforming benchmarks. So you can really do good while doing good.
And how are you relaying this to your clients? So one of the things that's different about your firm is the way you engage clients.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's very difficult for investment advisors to have this conversation for a multitude of reasons, not the least of which is they're so deeply entrenched in the way things used to be. I mean, that's what they know. They're a product of their history and their training. So when you're sitting with a customer and you start talking about doing good in the world, two things happen. Number one is it's a nerve-wracking thing for the advisor, because an advisor gets paid to be the smartest one in the room around that conversation. And so when they're asked things and open up conversations about things that they might not be able to follow through with, specifics about what is Exxon doing in the world today, right? It's very difficult for them to go down that road, so they refrain from often doing that. That's one of the big reasons. The second reason is because of the old typecasting of SRI and ESG. When everybody thinks, socially responsible investing, well, I'm going to lose money.
Right.
So for those two reasons, it's difficult to have those conversations. So what we do at Conscious Capital Wealth Management is we also have significant training programs for advisors. So we help them fundamentally change the conversation and change the relationship of how they're having that conversation with those clients, specifically talking about what are your dreams, why are you here, and also what are your values in life. And let's see if we can put those two together to make your life a better thing.
Sounds like a good mix to me. Thanks for coming on and talking about it.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching SCN Corporate Connect.